What kind of lessons can we learn from the projects that we can use further afield?
It's to think wider than just your own industry. One of the problems has been is the mobile industry tends to think of the mobile industry, the financial services industry just thinks of the financial services market, the transit industry thinks of wider than that. And I think we've seen that clearly, and it came out also when we were talking about emerging markets, especially in Africa and India and China, that you have to use the technology but perhaps in a different way. The business models are different, the business drivers are different, and clearly some of the learnings from what's happened in Europe and North America can be actually transferred down into Africa. The Indian subcontinent, we're already seeing some major projects. It was clearly articulated this morning that there is a 15,000 unit, in inverted commas, trial going to be launched, which is in India, but it's on a completely different business model than any of the trials or pilots that have taken place in either Europe or in North America.
What do you think has been the biggest dichotomy in this area? Is it the actual trials and the business cases, or the technology? I mean, how do they stack up?
The technology is not an issue. These guys are, they know that the technology is contactless technology is proven technology, but it's in the form factor you want to put it in, so it's miniaturization and commercialization of that. Are you making it down at a price point which is acceptable? I'm not sure people really understand that putting the technology into the handset is only one part of the end-to-end solution. You also have to put the technology into the mobile network operators, and you have to do all the interfaces to the various parties. If you think the end-to-end, if you have a wallet which has a wide range of functions, it has ticketing, it has payment, it has coupons, it has vouchers, it has mobile advertising, and it uses a whole range of bearers. It also has, therefore, a whole series of other companies that have to be interfaced to an IT context, and they cost money and they take time. And some of those people are not used to sharing information, so then you're breaking the barriers down between different organizations. We tend to, as a management consultancy, we look at the three, we look at overlapping circles we put over the top of each other. Say, for example, financial services, mobile, and the transit business. And if you think about it, they have very, very developed ecosystems. So what we're doing in the contactless world is trying to bring together those ecosystems, which is difficult. And but the things have changed tremendously since last conference. We've seen a number of people comment this morning from questions from the floor and also on the panel that they've seen major changes. People are now talking, and now they're working in a collaborative way. And that's something which you can export from Europe. The French, the Germans, the UK mobile network operators and banks are talking together. The French have got a highly developed process whereby they have projects for specific banking, projects for specific retailing, and now also for mobile advertising. So they're actually grouping together, but they have a lot of committees, which in some ways may slow down things slightly in the deployment. Whereas in Germany and in the UK and Spain, the operators and the bank, the major financial institutions, are working together to try and overcome any issues they've got working together, and then the barriers to entry to actually deploy solutions now. And that was one of the key things I think came out is using those cooperation techniques in Africa, Indian subcontinent and China. You can really start to deploy services, and that we're seeing that now with a 15,000 unit trial pilot is a result of that.
Is it because of these large trial pilots so that makes the developing economies so attractive?
Yes. The markets are huge. I mean, you think about in the potential in places like India. India sold something in the region of 10 million new handsets were sold last month. These are significant numbers. You don't sell 10 million handsets in Europe in a long period of time. The volume is there, but the models are very different, and that came out today. Very good indeed, 3 speakers today about emerging markets this morning, about how you have to look at the business model. And the business model quite often is upside down compared with Western Europe and North America, whereby you have a large amount of unbanked people, or you have a situation where you don't have a rolled infrastructure of point of sale. Therefore, you have to think about whether or not you use the terminal as a point of sale. Alternatively, you have people, for example, in Africa who have one mobile handset amongst a large number of people, and you're sharing SIMs. So the business models are quite different. But you're using the same core technology, but just in a different business model. And of course, you've got to watch out that the price points are very, very different indeed.
So in your experience, and from what you've heard both recently over the last 12 months and today, where are the future business opportunities?
Future business opportunities are really clear as come out. We've moved in some ways from payment, it tends to have turned upside down, it's now transit and payment. And the use of contactless cards to access transit systems, gated transit systems, is a real opportunity. And there's work here in London, Paris, New York, Boston, major conurbations. There is already obviously existing closed loop systems, but these are now moving into open up into open systems. And what's really clear is you can do something now. You don't have to wait for mobile handsets to come. And that's sweating the existing point of sale, existing financial services infrastructure, and actually making it real for people. So, and one of the key things that come out of it is the focus has been, and a lot of speakers today have been about, it's the compelling customer experience. It has to be easy to use. And a lot of people are already using contactless for closed loop systems, such as the Oyster card here in the UK or a range of services around the world. So there's not a major step change for consumers, and that's really important as well. It's got to be about choice for consumers and easy to use and easy to understand how to use. They've got the concept of tapping for transit ticketing is very easy. Then it's a move to go to payment and then other services beyond that.
At the spring conference that we've had today, what would you say the top 3 messages to take away?
Top 3 messages are contactless is here. You can do things now with existing contactless cards. The market opportunities in Africa, Indian subcontinent and China are huge, absolutely huge. The technology is not the issue, it's about the business model and trying to realise how you can use that technology to really exploit those marketplaces. And the last one really is it's not just about payment or ticketing, it is also about the whole customer journey, the customer experience, and it's about providing combined services which perhaps don't exist today, especially in the mobile when we get into mobile. So things like customer loyalty and combining together things like redemption as well, so that you're able to redeem points and get physical goods for your shopping experience and discounts and things like that. So combining services together and offering a bundle of services, that's, I think, it's a real takeout.
So we better get the cameras down to Africa.
So Africa, Indian subcontinent and China.
That's going to be quite a jaunt. Tim, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Tim Jefferson, The Human Chain. The URL coming up right now. I never get bored of doing that. I'm Steve Atkins, and this is CITV.